Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Eat Rip Bet here. We're gonna do something a little different here. Normally I'd be ripping cards and talking about things as I go along here, but I've been toying with an idea to make a video for this subject for a very long time. So obviously sports cards are really huge right now in terms of kind of global popularity and national popularity. And there is one thing in sports cards that I think is missing. I've got a lot of Topps products up here, pretty much all Topps products. I think Topps is a very, very good candidate for this product that I'm going to propose. And it is none other than Indycar. Indy 500. Here we go into the month of May. May starts tomorrow. Indy in the month of May is synonymous with the Indy 500. Last year, Helio Castroneves won his fourth Indy 500. This was when he won his second Indy 500. I've never missed an Indy 500 where Helio Castroneves won. But today, I'm going to just kind of leave this photo up as inspiration. If I can prop it up correctly without getting it to fall. Hopefully it stays there. All right, cool. So I'm going to give you the top 10 reasons why I think Topps or Panini or Upper Deck or Leaf, one of the card companies, needs to start making IndyCar cards like they're making Formula One, like they already make NASCAR, almost immediately. Here's why. And these are in no particular order. I've got 10 reasons written down. So, number one, Topps seems to be releasing just about everything lately, as does Panini. They released Topps OTE Basketball. Basically, 18-year-old kind of G League or pre-G League players who may or may not have a future. They started making a product. They're selling that in retail. Okay? They're also making Topps Finest Topps Finest unlicensed basketball, which many are calling yearbook cards. It's kind of nostalgic. So it seems like if I'm looking at this holistically, I'd say Topps is very, very astute when it comes to venturing into new business opportunities that seem to be able to have kind of a mass appeal. So why did they make OTE? Because they thought it would suck, or because they thought it would have a future and some collectability? Well, they're making Formula One cards. Unless somebody steals the license, I feel like F1 cards are here to stay. They're only going to continue to get bigger. IndyCar is a missed opportunity. It's open wheel racing. It's the same type of sport. A little bit different, but very, very similar. A similar engine package, similar chassis, similar style racing. So that's reason number one. Two, the captain, Roger Penske. Roger Penske is known as a master when it comes to business and business ventures and taking advantage of opportunities. Roger Penske bought IndyCar a couple years ago and decided to really reinvest in the series. And I think Roger is a very smart guy. He has a lot of passion for the sport. He's a very recognizable name. If Roger Penske wanted to get IndyCar into collectors' hands as far as trading cards go, it could be very exciting. So my third reason is sort of your oddball kind of nutballs in the sport that are your characters, right? The drivers that people like to collect just because they're just off the wall characters. So this is reasons number 3 and 4. And we're going to talk about Connor Daly, who goes with the mullet when the pandemic started, wearing out the mullet. And then James Hinchcliffe, who is, I think, one of the most well-spoken drivers in the series. I don't think he drives full-time anymore, but James Hinchcliffe, easy to listen to. I think he was on Dancing with the Stars. He's very, very likable character. So many other drivers like that would certainly be drivers that I think would make the series very exciting to collect in terms of collectability. So the next reason, we'll call it reason number 5, is the past greats. Now, drivers like Mario Andretti, AJ Foyt, Rick Mears, Michael Andretti, Gordon Johncock. The list goes on and on of great drivers that have either won multiple 500s, championships, or were synonymous with the sport. They're getting older. They will not be around forever. It's kind of like if you're in Topps or, in baseball, Willie Mays, some of these older vets that are Hall of Famers, they're getting old. They're not going to be around forever. I think Indycar and Roger Penske need to take advantage of getting them to sign memorabilia like a trading card, like a relic card, and get it into the hands of collectors. I think it's a missed opportunity. It's a huge missed opportunity. I forgot AJ Foyt. AJ Foyt, 4-time winner as well. My next reason, Scott Dixon. So Scott Dixon, for those who are familiar with IndyCar, know that Scott Dixon's been in the series since he was 19 years old. I graduated high school almost the same year as Scott Dixon. I remember walking past Scott Dixon at a road race in his very first IndyCar race at Road America back when he was 19 or 18 years old, driving for the old Pac West team. And Scott Dixon was a nobody. But Scott Dixon they call him the Iceman for a good reason. He is so cool under pressure. He is so soft-spoken, but the man is an absolute killer when it comes to being in a race car and winning races. Scott Dixon was also on American Ninja Warrior. So Scott Dixon has been doing other things that sort of extend beyond just typically racing, okay? Not to mention the fact that they had a Netflix series, much like you'd have like Drive to Survive for Formula One. Scott Dixon had a Netflix series that was just a single movie called Racer, or I think it was called Racer, The Racer Within, or something like that. So, and Born to Race, that was it, Born to Race. So anyway, if Scott Dixon had memorabilia cards, autographs, relics, some cool things like that, I think it has a very good enhanced collectability. So that leads me to my next point when it comes to reasons why I think the series should have trading cards is the connection between IndyCar and Formula One. So currently in IndyCar, Romain Grosjean, who used to race in Formula One for Haas, is driving full-time for Andretti. Romain Grosjean is not the only Formula One driver to race IndyCar recently. Several years ago, for 2 different occasions, you had Fernando Alonso, you had Rubens Barrichello, you had other drivers like that. Takuma Sato is another one, multiple 500 champion, started his career in Formula One. So there's a lot of back and forth between IndyCar and Formula One. In the direction of going from IndyCar to Formula One, you've got Jacques Villeneuve, you've got Juan Pablo Montoya, you had Cristiano de Mata. Some of these drivers didn't necessarily pan out in Formula One, Michael Andretti, but they had the segue. So if you look at it from the perspective of other sports, it's kind of like MLS soccer and Champions League soccer versus the soccer in Europe. I think it's the Bundesliga or one of the La Liga or something like that. So if you think about it, IndyCar and Formula One have a lot of back and forth when it comes to drivers going in both directions. So if they have Formula One cards, it only stands to reason they should have IndyCar cards. So the next reason that I'm going to make the pitch for IndyCar to have IndyCar cards, I'm going to save the last 2 reasons to the very end. So when I think about IndyCar, I think about your staple events, Indy 500, Long Beach Grand Prix. You have new and upcoming events like St. Petersburg. That seems to be a regular staple in the series. You've got IndyCar events, not only nationally, but also globally. More doing national events nowadays, but IndyCar has a rich heritage when it comes to the mixture of the types of tracks and the great events and venues that they go to. And I can think of nothing better than to have relics and ways to connect people to those various events. Like a driver's suit has a separate driver's patch or something for like the Indy 500 ends up being a relic card from a race-worn driver's suit or something like that, or pieces of a tire or pieces of carbon fiber from the actual chassis. Let's say the car got in an accident, they cut out a piece of chassis. Next thing you know, you got a little chunk of the M in Mobile One or something like that. I think that would be really cool. And IndyCar has always been very good at connecting with the fans and sort of giving those items away with no real cost. So I think that is something that would be very attractive to fans when it comes to collectability and growing the sport. And so that leads me to my final two reasons, and I'm not really sure in what order to put these reasons. So I'm going to start with the man I have in front of me, Helio Castroneves. So Helio Castroneves, if you asked an average person on the street, they may or may not know who Helio Castroneves is, like they would Michael Jordan, or like they would LeBron James, or Steph Curry. But Helio Castroneves is a 4-time Indy 500 champion. He is still going for his 5th, hopefully. He was a very unexpected winner last year when he won his 4th, driving for a new team. But many years ago, Helio Castroneves was on a show called Dancing with the Stars, and he won. Helio Castroneves, believe it or not, I think, has extended his persona outside of IndyCar. He's not all about racing. Yeah, he had the tax evasion scandal that certainly was almost at a point where it was going to end his career. But Helio Castroneves can have the potential to be a global icon, much like you would the person that I'm going to bring up next. So I think my second to last reason would be Helio Castroneves. He's a star. He's a global icon when it comes to the sport. He's a great ambassador for the sport. He's super likable. If you've ever met him in person, super fun to be around. Great smile on his face. Never gets upset. Almost never. I've seen him upset maybe twice. So, Helio, that's my second to last reason. And my very, very last reason here in this short video for a pitch to have IndyCar trading cards be a part of the collectability space going forward here, and that's none other than Mario Andretti. Mario Andretti is a global icon. Everybody knows who Mario Andretti is, no matter who you are. Mario Andretti is 82 or 83 years old. He is still driving the two-seater today. Mario Andretti is a special talent. Mario Andretti is also a likable person. Mario Andretti has connection to Formula One, to NASCAR. He is a global icon. Mario Andretti is the whole reason why IndyCar, potentially, not IndyCar, but Michael Andretti was potentially going to have a Formula One team coming up here in the near future. Now, we'll have to wait and see how that materializes, but I really believe Mario Andretti's presence in a product like a trading card commodity with relics, with autos, with things like that would be very exciting to people to collect. I didn't have it in front of me right now, but I remember when I was a kid, there was an old Kmart card that I had with Mario Andretti's picture on it. It was a trading card. I think I either got it at a race or maybe got it from a Kmart or something as like a promotional item during one of the Milwaukee Mile races from 25, 30 years ago. Probably even before then. So to kind of summarize, if you just look at the whole picture and you look at what's going on in the trading card space today, I feel like IndyCar and the Indy 500 and anything that has to do with racing it has a reason to belong in the trading card space. I would like to see it. Roger, if you're listening, I hope you take me up on the suggestion to negotiate with a Topps or a Panini, preferably Topps, because I think they would do a better job. I would love to see Topps Chrome blaster boxes at my Target that says Topps Chrome IndyCar 2023. That would be I would be all over that, and I have many people that I know who would do the exact same thing. you can start small. You can do it exactly like you did F1. You don't need to mass print everything. But it is a missed opportunity, and I would love to see it. So hopefully, Roger, if you're listening, if you know Roger and you think this idea is a good idea, forward it to him. Let him know. Share it with him. Tag him on Twitter. Do whatever you have to do. But I'm not going to stop making these videos until we get IndyCar trading cards, either in hobby or retail or both, coming up here in the near future. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed my suggestions. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Like if you would, please. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you in the next video. We are going to be doing some eating coming up at the end of this month. Stay tuned for that.